I've been a lifetime runner, and I do about 3 miles just in front of the house, right to Cedar Crest Boulevard and back. I had a heart valve adjustment. The little strings on the valves, it was a little out of alignment, so that was the only issue with the heart at that time. Just left for another casual run after church on a Sunday, on Mother's Day of all things. You know, I figured, oh, we'll go for a run and then we'll go get something to eat and celebrate Mother's Day. I remember going out for a run, and I remember waking up in the hospital.
He didn't have his phone, but he had his Apple Watch on. I called that, and a lady answered his watch. I said, well, who is this, you know, with a lady answering his watch? And she identified herself as a nurse at the ER at Lehigh Valley, and she handed the watch to a doctor.
All they mentioned it was cardiac arrest, which even at that time I didn't have a very clear understanding of what cardiac arrest was. But, you know, obviously I realized what the results were, you know, ending up in the hospital.
We were dispatched to Pennsylvania and 20th Street for a person who was unconscious. There was 2 bystanders doing CPR. They were doing a great job giving rescue breaths and doing the compressions. I lifted the male shirt up and put the AED pads on, let the AED analyze its thing. Several minutes later, Officer Azar arrived on scene and started doing CPR.
It's very important because you can go a shift without having anything happen medically, without any emergency responses like that, or you can have a shift where you're doing CPR 2 or 3 times a night.
Officer Norder from South Whitehall called me to see how he was and how, you know, things were, so I explained to him, and he asked if he could call me in a couple of days just to keep checking on him. He called me 4 times. I was totally amazed at the compassion and caring of these 2 police officers. The last time he called me, I asked him if I could meet them, because I really needed to meet them. As I got out of the car, I said, so, you 2 are the ones that saved my husband's life. And they said, well, yes and no. We got there really fast because we weren't far away, but there were 2 men already giving him CPR. I truly believe that God sent us a miracle, and He sent angels to be in that spot to save Jim, because they gave him CPR quick enough. They kept the oxygen flowing to his brain.
I just had a feeling for some reason that when we were there that he was going to pull through and make it.
You can go on countless amounts of calls, especially once they get in the ambulance and they head to the hospital. You usually never hear after that how they're doing, how have they recovered, what's life like now.
It was really a pleasure to meet all the first responders, you know, other than the angels. I felt pretty lucky that I was found as quickly as I was, and was given initial treatment, which preserved my brain cells quite a bit and allowed me to continue my life